Live from Kansas Speedway, welcome race fans one and all back to Green Flag TV. Tonight we get set to duke it out with just 2 races left on the calendar before the chase for the Tires Plus Cup. This mile-and-a-half circuit has long been known for being one of the fastest 1.5-mile D-ovals on the NASCAR calendar. And we'll see if that still rings true on a beautiful Thursday afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Green Flag TV. My name is Little Rembo, bringing you all of the action from start to finish here tonight. It's going to be a hard-fought race for all involved. Once again, 2 races remain and 2 very unique challenges to boot. We kick things off at the Kansas Speedway, and then we roll down to Darlington 1 week from now. And that will then see us set things for the top 7 in that chase for the Tires Plus Cup. And speaking of those point standings, take a look at those, shall we, as we get set to work into another chapter of the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series. Right now, Kevin Cantonio and Shane Weinmiller are just 5 points separated in that cut line as they get set to duke it out. Stan Hausman still with a shot, as is Carl DeCharles, but they are a bit further down, and they have a lot of work to do if they really want to get themselves into fine contention this afternoon. Realistically, everyone from Jason Gracias on up is effectively secure in, especially for drivers like Christopher Darley and Ryan Shelton, who only really need to turn up for the next 2 weeks, and then they're going to be able to get themselves up and locked into that top 7 shootout for the championship as well at season's end. Well, while we continue to work things through, we're going to take a quick chance here to give a shout-out to some of the folks that helped to keep the lights on here for the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series. Tonight's race and all the races are brought to you by Tires Plus Total Car Care. Tires Plus, they know tires, but understand that you may not. And hey, that's perfectly okay. Because at the end of the day, it's their job to work with you to figure out what tire options might work best for your vehicle, driving style, and budget. They do this by offering a broad range of suggestions from good to better to best, and they give you the room to choose. They also make tire buying easy with the ability to shop and get a quote and schedule installation online. They are there for the duration with rotations and repairs. From simple oil changes to brakes and alignments, including your ADAS sensors, they don't believe in performing unnecessary repairs. They'll tell you what's best to be taken care of now and what can wait, because at the end of the day, it's your car and your call. And by Max Graphics. Max Graphics is all of your graphic design needs, from NASCAR to sim racing, logos, banners, t-shirt design, and other commercial uses. Find out more today at facebook.com/Max Graphics Design. As well as by Brookstone Animal Hospital. Brookstone Animal Hospital is a AAHA accredited full-service veterinary medical, boarding, and grooming facility serving Metro Atlanta. Their mission is to provide modern and up-to-date medicine while tailoring their care to the individual needs of each animal and owner. They strive to support and nurture the health and well-being of all animals and treat their clients and their pets as members of the family. Visit BrookstoneVet.com to schedule your appointment today. Other sponsors include Twisted Steel Steak Appeal, Maconi Setup Shop, J&R Craftworks, Firestone, Fear Street Journal, Simrat Market, and Admin Box. All bar one driver have managed to at least try to make a qualifying effort, and for the most part, we're looking set like we're going to be finding things all sorted to do for racing action this afternoon. Jason Gracias is the lone car on the racetrack, but both of his laps were invalidated. Right now, there are 29 cars registered, one of the biggest grids we've had all season long, looking set to take it to the racetrack. And 24 of those have put down qualifying times on this Thursday afternoon. So with all of that said and done, qualifying will come to a close, and we are ready to take a look at how everything's going to line on up. 29 race cars ready to take it to the racetrack. Let's show you how everything's going to line on up as we get set to duke it out. 80 laps around the Kansas Speedway. Starting on the pole this afternoon, you've got Martin Blute from Max Graphics Racing with Dirty South Racing's Bobby Anderson. Off by just 5,000 of a second, Bobby Anderson making his Speed Cup Series debut this afternoon. Josh McDougall starts in third with Josh Emerson in fourth. The Florida native Manatee Major is in fifth with Tim Branson out of California in sixth. Kevin Pierog is seventh, Aaron Mack is eighth. Shane Weinmiller out of Indiana is in ninth with Joey Barrett rounding out the top 10. Corey Hutchinson will be out of the 11th spot with Christopher Darley for MGR down in 12th. Old Guy Racing's Tim Allman will be 13th with Cool Runnings Racing's Carlton Charles in 14th. Vincent Motorsports' Josiah Vincent is in 15th to round out the top half of the field, alongside MGR's Ben Mashburn. BSRO's Andy Levier is down to the 17th position with Old Guy Racing's Michael Mooney in 18th. 19th place holds Emmett Lindquist with Micah McRunnels in 20th. Java Motorsports' Mark McFadden is the 21st spot with MGR's Stan Hausman in 12th. Travis Ide is in 23rd with BSRO's Mike Borkid in 24th. Ryan Shelton starts this race 25th, not putting down a qualifying lap alongside Jason Gracias, Doug Milliner for MGR, Jason Schuh for Jason Schuh Racing, and Joseph Causey for Frontline Esports round out a 29-car field. For the most part, drivers are gridded up and ready to go. We are now just waiting on Joseph Causey, who will not make it to the call. So only 28 drivers are going to be starting this racing action with us here this afternoon. Most part, we're going to have ourselves with what looks like a 28-car start. 80 laps will be the distance around this 1.5-mile facility. It's a short race, but it's going to be an intense race, as Kansas Speedway so often is. Those 80 laps will equate out to 120 miles. So one of the shorter races on the season. If this goes green to the end, anticipate this race not to be about more than an hour or so in length. So we'll see how everything's going to pan on out here, but for now, drivers like Martin Bluth working their way up out of turn number 2 and onto the back straightaway as the sun beams down aboard the Hollywood Casino. As always, we're happy that you're joining us here on an absolutely beautiful Thursday night. Martin Bluth on the inside, rookie Bobby Anderson on the outside. The pace car works in to pit road as Martin Bluth makes that slow drive to the Geiger restart zone. Green flags out, it's go, go, go from Kansas! The Max Graphics Pole Award winner of Martin Bluth will lead lap number 1 to green, while the rest of the pack is getting set to double file it out just a little ways behind. Bobby Anderson looking for the lead down the inside of 1 and 2, but he's going to track up at the Kellogg's Cornflakes machine. Wow, look out! Way to the inside goes Josh Emerson, the 73 car, braking sideways off of turn 2. He'll rejoin in 3. Contact now with the side of the Ford Mustang, the 28 of Corey Hutchinson, able to make his way out. Meanwhile, 3 wide for the lead. Plume ball from the bottom. And now the 2 Spotify machines along with Anderson, side by side, 3 abreast, down to turn number 1. And the rookie takes the lead early from the Kansas Speedway up top. Beautiful drive there for Bobby Anderson to fire his way up and around the top side of turn number 4. Made that pass work, 3 wide around the top. And now still battling it out with Benazzi Major down low. And the Spotify Hulu machine will take the lead. He'll lead lap number 3. 3 leaders then in 3 different laps. Racing action kicking off in earnest from the Kansas Speedway. Take a look back as Martin Bluth just lost pace coming off of turn number 2. And then you see right there, watch the 82 car. Sees that move, opened it up, and just went for it down the inside on the front straightaway. 3 wide in the drag race down at turn number 1. Battle remains on between Anderson and Bluth as they go door to door for the number 2 spot. Just behind them, Josh McDougall trying to see if he can hang on for 4th against Aaron Mack. Devin Pirog as well as in the mix. And there you see Shane Weimiller trying to throw his hat back into the ring. Field for the most part starting the single file out, but Martin Bluth not going to take that line down. He shoots back to the inside trying to make a run for the lead. Door to door as the Max Graphics Pole Award winner shoots to the bottom side of the 82, but that outside lane can pull so heavily And looking like it'll be Major who will pull clear from the outside line. Oh, not quite. Ploot still has the nose in there. Dives back to the inside. The battle for the race lead is picking up. And the two of them started to drag away from the three-wide grudge match for third, just behind with McDougall, Anderson, and Mack. A lot of cars under a blanket here as all of them started to pull away slowly but surely for the rest of the pack. And Major just cannot find a way to clear Martin Ploot down the back straightaway. Ploot will again send it down low into turn number 3. While Major runs up on the top shelf just behind. Taking it over to lap number 8. We're already about 10% of the way through this race. These laps go by in a hurry. And this time, Major's able to clear. Ploot will drop back down to number 2. Further behind, Shane Wymille in the battle with Josh Emerson. This is for 7th and 8th as they look to work the outside lane for Emerson. Got real crossed up on that second lap. He'll clear now from Wymille. Josh Emerson jumps down into the number 7 spot. I think he'll just be content to keep things running as they are. There you see Ploot now under fire by Aaron Mack and Josh McDougall. So we got a battle for third started to pick up as well further up the grid. This is a pretty big battle pack further down the field, though. Michael Mooney in the clutches of Joey Barrett, who's already dropped 6 from the get-go of this race. And Barrett stuffs it in there, nearly runs into the side of Michael Mooney in that battle for 15th place on the track. And dragging himself into the fray is Ryan Shelton. And that 9-9 machine is going to go 3 wide around the outside. And in fact, problem for Joey Barrett. As Barrett way out of shape in turn 1. And Barrett going to lose a lot of speed. What in the world happened to Barrett down the front stretch? Take a look back at this one as Joey Barrett was 3 wide with Mooney and Shelton. They enter turn 1 with 2 wide. Oh, contact! Putting the 43 onto the apron. Good save. Slip back up, and Micah McReynolds drills the back bumper. I think he got tagged as well by Tim Branson, so a pretty big stack up there in turn 2. Meanwhile, while all that was going on, Aaron Mack takes the race lead away up the road, and here's how this one went down as Aaron Mack, how about that? 3 wide. Martin Ploot tried to cut inside. Mack wasn't having it, and the U.S. Army U-Sports number 31 back to the, first time of this race is on to the points. Major rips the lip around the top side of the racetrack, cutting back down to the inside, seeing if he can set up an over-under on Aaron Mack here down to turn 3. Bobby Anderson still hanging on to the tail end here of this battle for the lead as well. Whoa, and look out! As Munatsi Major going around, Aaron Mack going around, and oh, there we go. Mack fully spun around, and that'll bring the yellow flag out for the first time this afternoon. Big crash for Aaron Mack up at turn 1. That all started in turn 1 and then ended in 2. Looking like Bobby Anderson will come out as the victor at the end of that mess, but that got hairy coming down into the opening corners. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Jump back and get a look at what happened to Aaron Mack and more as Munatsi Major just getting into the side of Mack, and Mack goes hard into the outside wall, and that's not over. McDougall gets around after locking it up, and the 28 was not lucky enough. Just hooks the 31 here as he tried to go low. Spins Mack back up the racetrack, and Josiah Vincent and Jason Gracias both taking some pretty hefty licks. Ullman gets into it as well. And that spins both cars down to the bottom. Tough break there for all drivers involved. This is at speed, working out of turn 4. And a rough ride for the pack. That could have been a lot worse, and lucky that that was not any worse than it was. Just got stacked up and couldn't really go anywhere for the 28 machine. Puts us under the yellow flag for the first time this afternoon as pit stops are underway. Bobby Anderson was the first in. We'll see if he'll be the first one out. Ben Mashburn, Michael Mooney, Stan Hausman all staying out. And Anderson will be the first car out of pit road. Blue second. And how about that? Ryan Shelton picking up third with a two-tire strategy, possibly fuel only. Looking like 4 tires for the most part throughout this field. Carlton Charles is taking fuel only. Tim Branson is on fuel only. And a good chunk of the rest of this field is also in for long stops, getting some damages repaired after a few scrapes with that outside wall. Take another look back on what happened here with Aaron Mack and more as this got a little ugly. Well, we'll try to get a better look at that as we'll struggle to track down Aaron Mack for a hot minute. Here we go, out of turn 4. And as they work to the front straightaway, it's going to go awry as the 82 just drifts up from the apron, doors the 31. At 28. Just looked to the inside, and Corey Hutchinson just never checked up in time. That's a hard lick for Josiah Vincent and Jason Gracias into the outside wall. It's tough break in particular for Gracias. He was looking set to take up the Simrat Market Hard Charger Award, and looking like that will be all for naught. "27 cars out of 28 started this race. Joseph Cause from Frontline Esports still sitting in pit road. And Emmett Lindquist has crashed under the safety car. And I'm curious if that will delay this start. What's happened here to Lindquist? Trying to come back down to pit road and just loops it on the apron. Slides down and eventually loses it altogether. Wild spin there for Lindquist under caution. And that will delay this start. As we are going to be back with it. Working the back straightaway with 1 lap to green. Looking like there will be 24 cars left on the lead lap, with 25th through 28th all down and into pit road. It's an unfortunate mess for the lot of them, but for now, Ben Mashburn, Michael Mooney, and Bobby Anderson on about 15 lap old tires will take it up to the green flag as they'll work their way back into the Geico restart zone. We're back to green in Kansas City. Ben Mashburn with a good getaway up the field while they're looking for 3 wide behind. Bobby Anderson bobbling a little bit as he entered turn number 1. Stacked up a little bit by Hausman and Mooney on those older tires. And you see one of those cars that just left pit road. I believe that's the Ullman who is going to be down a lap here. 3 wide for second. Mashburn running away. And Ullman will come back down pit road. The rest of the field in a mad scramble down to turn 1. Third place up for grabs right now as Bobby Anderson hunts down the inside of the J&R Craftworks number 88 Mustang. And again, the rookie making good speed. He'll go bottom to top, drives around the outside of Mooney and picks up the spot. How about Martin Ploop behind? Look at the huge drive that he got on Ryan Shelton. Shoots the inside, and he's going to go 6th to 4th in just the front straightaway alone. It's not a full stint of tires that these guys are working with right now. Ploot! All sorts of sideways off of turn 2. Fights it down low and able to wrangle that Twisted Steel Stake Appeal Camry back under him. Call me crazy, I don't think that's the last caution that we're going to be seeing. As we go 3 wide, just behind, and the battle's on with the lead. Bobby Anderson to the inside of Mashburn. Few cars getting up and scraping the outside wall out of 4 while Bobby Anderson started to drive it out. Oh, contact as Shelton almost put up into the outside wall by Mashburn. Mashburn shoots down to the low side while Ryan Shelton continues to drive it out on top. And almost trouble behind. As several cars trying to see if they can fight their way up and around, but right now, that battle for the race lead is picking up. Shelton looking to go around the long way. Anderson and Shelton continue to remain tucked up nose to tail and now door to door as Shelton looking to go around the outside, down in the turn numbers 1 and 2. Can he finally pick off Anderson? Mashburn into the wall just behind, causes Plout and Purok to scramble. Shelton to the race lead. Now we look further back as Mashburn into the wall again, that time mid-corner. It's not ideal indeed as the whole field still ripping nose to tail down the front straightaway right now. The top about 13 or so are still within 2 seconds of each other. Not a lot of space on an oval. Third place still looking to be up for grabs here as now Anderson finds himself under fire. Josh McDougall going around the outside for that number 2 spot, and Anderson trying to see if he can fend off Shane Weinmiller and Martin Plout. Remember, Weinmiller right now in a critical position. He is 5 points out and trying to battle his way into the chase of the Tires Plus Cup with only 2 races left to make that look. The 5 going to track down to the inside. Drifts up nearly into the side of the 9 car. And Bobby Anderson looking like he started to tumble on that inside groove. Just not a lot of speed for that 5 car down on the inside as that top lane gets more and more rubbered in. Shane Wyman is still looking to make moves up the road. He is hunting down the inside of Martin Plout. Goes from 4th, he's up to 3rd. With Plout trying to track around the outside lane as well. The 81 to the 45. Still tucked up line astern as Ryan Shelton hanging on to the lead, but he's managing that gap. He's not trying to drive away from these guys. He is he's going just fast enough to give a little bit of a gap, but still being slow enough that it's not going to hurt him all that much. As Shelton and McDougall, oh man, is almost into the outside wall there. Goes to the 99. And the 45 going to try to track these guys down. Shane Weinmiller getting into the mix as well. Third place. Trying to make that look for second down the inside at turn 1. And all the while there's still battles all the way up and down the field. This is the giant battle cluster from about 9th on back throughout the rest of the field. Really showing right now kind of where all the runs are. And a lot of the drivers back here, like Ben Mashman, again, are on those old tires. And they're struggling to make up whatever lap times they can muster. I think right now, the 92 of Branson just got out of shape out of 4 and nearly went into the outside wall. This goes all the way back. This is, in fact, Michael McReynolds into pit road. So our first run of official green flag pit stops. McReynolds had already pitted, though, so curious what the call is going to be there for that one. 50 laps to go with the line. Weinmiller looking for the lead down the inside of turn 3. Won't happen. Shelton able to pull the outside lane with all that rubbered in grip. Bobby Anderson making a 3-wide look down the inside at turn 3. Weinmiller getting into the fray. Shelton starting to drive away. McDougall up on the top, and he'll back out. As the Simrat Market Mustang looks like he is starting to slip back. Checking in on the battle for about 13th on back. Mark McFadden, Ben Mashburn, Jason Shue. All tucked up line astern as meanwhile up the road. How about Jason Gracias making a big comeback with Josh Emerson? They both got put into the wall pretty heavily earlier in this race with the first caution of the afternoon, courtesy of Aaron Mack and Corey Hutchinson. And now bouncing back there, back up and into the top 10. So a good show for them. Further behind, Ben Mashburn still on those old tires. Oh, gets into it with Carlton Charles, slides out, trying to hang on, and he's going to get punted by Tim Branson up into the outside wall. Joey Barrett gets into him, and the caution is out for the second time tonight. Coming in last minute there was Mike Morcrid in the BSRO machine. And that will put Ryan Shelton as the race leader just shy of halfway. I figured we weren't done yet, and sure enough, it all fell apart. As the field will work themselves down and around the turn numbers 3 and 4. Take a look back on what happened here to Ben Mashburn as, well, he's already crossed up and sideways there. We'll jump back a little bit further, but Ben Mashburn coming down to the turn number 1. Got tapped by the 27 of Carlton Charles. Tim Branson left with nowhere to go. Stan Housen with nowhere to go. Tim Branson with a hard shot to the outside wall. Joey Barrett came screaming in. And a hard lick into the outside wall from Mike Morcrid. It's going to put him down and out. Coming back, we'll look at this one at speed. This is the lap before. The 27 is already trying to get around and put himself to the outside wall and still had enough speed to drive up and tap the back bumper of the Jordan's machine. And eventually the 27 Camry decided he had had enough waiting and tapped to the back end, and that'll send Mashburn right around. That's a tough break for Joey Barrett and Moore that all had nowhere to go, and hard lick there as well for Mike Morcrid. 4 tires and fuel is the call for the entire pack as they make their way down to the pit road. We're going to take ourselves with a quick thank you once again to the rest of the Speed Tires Plus Cups associate sponsors for this current 2024 season. Tonight's race brought to you by Beer Street Journal, one of the largest online collections of original content dedicated to covering beer culture and education and advancement of the beer industry. With thousands of articles, millions of unique visitors, and exposure in over 200 countries, Beer Street Journal is paving the way to enabling category growth, engaging a broader consumer base, and promoting better tasting beer for years to come. BeerStreetJournal.com, the best in beer. And by Twisted Steel Steak Appeal. Twisted Steel Steak Appeal by Marty Plute has a solid punch of sweet and heat flavor that lingers to let you know it's there. Marty Plute is an award-winning Steak Cook-Off Association cook, and he has finally revealed his secret resting rub that'll blow you away with flavor. Steak, veggies, fish, pork, and poultry. Twisted Steel Steak Appeal is a rub above the rest. And by J&R Craftworks. J&R Craftworks is your source for custom and awards. From full-color personalized mouse pads to laser cut wood and acrylic trophies and plaques, J&R has something for any budget. They also offer a large variety of wood, acrylic, and resin decorations and craft items, and are proud to work with several different riders and leagues, including Speed. Check them out at jnrcraftworks.com. Other sponsors include Simrat Market, Makoni Setup Shop, Abinbox, Max Graphics, Brookstone Animal Hospital, Firestone, and last but certainly not least, Tires Plus Total Car Care. Tires and service keeping you in the driver's seat. Going to look back one more time on board with Mike Borkrid, who took that heavy shot into the outside wall under this second yellow flag. There you can already see Mashburn and Charles starting to tangle up the road. And as they enter turn one, it's all going to kick off. Again, watch that pack up the road down to the turn one. There's the initial hit. You see Mashburn starting to lose it and finally just goes fully around. And just locked it up, went hard into the outside wall. Then on board with Joey Barrett, who also was left with nowhere to go. Coming up full speed on the pack and just gonna get tagged into the outside wall as around goes Mashburn, collects Branson, collects Hausman, and just had no idea. Lights out aboard the iRacing pace car, just shy of the halfway mark. And ready to go, back to green flag racing. Ryan Shelton with the lead and the whole field on fresh tires. Save for Carlton Charles, who came down for an extra splash of fuel as well. Green flag back in the air. McDougall and Anderson started the battle for the number 2 spot as the pack works off of turn numbers 3 and 4. You see Jason Shue getting a little crossed up behind. In fact, a lot of the pack getting crossed up behind. There's quite a few drivers for scrambling. They're going to be 3 wide of the back of the pack coming down to turn number 3. The 43, the 62, the 40, and more, all tucked up line astern as Tim Branson without a front clip. Also going to be put 3 wide as they work the front straightaway. McReynolds on the bottom and Hausman. His fellow crashmate up on top, contact! And down to the infield goes Branson. McReynolds sliding up and almost around again. Able to get it back underneath him. Bobby Anderson trying to attack Ryan Shelton for the lead down in the turn number 3. Now's the time to do it when you got all that fresh rubber. Now they're going to be door to door at the stripe. Anderson taking it down to the low side. Shelton working up top. Martin Plute and Josh McDougall just behind. Making runs as well. There you see TJ Allman jumping down to the inside. 3 wide again for the number 2 spot. That's Shelton on the backslide. Anderson puts himself into the lead while McDougall and Plute are underneath. That 9-9 car nearly coming together. That's tight coming down to the tri-oval. 3 wide, almost 2 rows deep. Tell you what, they are really making this work for them, though, as they thunder down the back straightaway and towards turn 3. A lot of green cars in the mix, and now looking like McDougal might be about to be put 3 abreast, as Minazzi Major will end up bailing out from that inside lane, but boy, he thought about it. Golly, I mean, you take a look at the absolutely massive battle pack from second on back to about the 10th position right now. It is fantastic, the type of race you can get out here from one of the fastest and most unique mile and a halves on the calendar. Once again, side by side for the lead. Martin Plout wants to go for it. Drives around the outside of 4. And will look to take the spot away in 2. Martin Plout to the front. Shelton, McDougal, Weinmiller, all tucked up line astern. As they battle it out down to the turn numbers 1 and 2 once again, and a lot of the fresh tire runners you can see really getting out clear, apart from the bit of a scattered back half of the field right now as they work their way out of turn numbers 1 and 2 to the back chute. This is right now where all the action's at. Shelton trying to hang on to whatever spots he can get, but it is no easy feat. Well, Bobby Anderson looking like he's getting a little bit unsettled. You saw him really hugging that inside line and coming off the outside wall. Nearly sending a couple around to the back straightaway. Got other drivers like Doug Milliner as well further in the back that are starting to make moves. And defending champion Christopher Darling making big moves here as well. Currently, Ryan Sheldon is in contention for the Simrat Market Hard Charger Award. He is up 21 positions, trying to make it up 22. Started at the back portion of this field as one of the 5 cars that did not put down a qualifying lap. .34 laps left to go, and now Josh McDougal starting to apply some more of that pressure. And we could see another battle for the race lead on our hands here as McDougal really trying to see if he can set up that pass on that 81 car. We'll keep tabs on the battle. A few more cars trying to drag themselves into the fray. Doug Milliner and Michael Mooney are among them. Right at the back of the lead pack, and further behind, Joey Barrett on a good recovery drive, trying to look around Andrew Levier. The Bridgestone machine as they drive it deep into turns 1 and 2. Stan Hausman just behind. All the while thinking for 3 wide up the road. Bobby Anderson back to the bottom, and your defending champion Christopher Darling on the move as well. Trying to make that look for 6th. Just fell out a little bit of the way there. He's not going to give it up, though, until he is right on it. And this race, man, is just kicking off in earnest. Kansas almost never disappoints. And boy, it is not disappointing this afternoon. Jason Shu to the inside of Mark McFadden further in the back. That's for 12 as Shu will pick it off from the number 22 car in the Goodwrench Camaro. Trying to drag itself up to this leading pack. 3 wide into turn number 3. Darling up top, Major in the middle, Anderson down low. Blute has started to drag away from this pack once again as Ryan Shelton picks up the number 2 spot. 30 to go in Kansas City. Tucking up into a 4-car train down that back chute. Meanwhile, Joey Barrett behind with Stanhausen, Jason Garcias, Levier, all side by side as well. Big question is, with that big gap that Blute is starting to build up at the front of the field, is he potentially burning off his tires a bit too soon? I mean, Ryan Shelton has been good on long run pace. Oh, contact behind as Emerson gets into the door of Devin Pirog, and that costs him quite a few car lengths. Garcia's shoving Barrett down in the turn number 3. Way up the track goes Levier and nearly into the outside wall with Carlton Charles. Hausman into the wall, Charles into the wall. As the field all still tucked up, nose to tail as they work it down in the turn numbers 3 and 4. Garcias and Barrett are not going to give this one in just yet as the 43 and the 1 continue to go side by side. They work out of turn numbers 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. And again, Charles flirted with the outside wall, as was Garcias, but look at the drive that Max Graphics number 1 Camry was able to set up on Mark McFadden as a result, absolutely pulling around the outside lane. You can tell Charles behind is taking notes. He's trying to follow through. Garcia's going to get in there, and now Charles, with a huge jet of steam, close in, and he's going to overtake McFadden on the back straightaway as well. Emmett Lindquist is another driver that's been trying to hang on to positions in this field, but has not, as of yet, been too successful in that. He has been on the backslide for a good while. Still +4 from where he started this afternoon, but I know it is not where he was looking to be in this race, considering the success that he's had earlier on in the season. One driver having a great day so far, though, is Shane Weinmiller. Weinmiller, of course, running in that 5th position right now. And the good news with the Simrad Market Mustang, while he's nowhere near the front right now, he has been able to get himself up and into the playoff cut line, as Kevin Cantonio was a no-show this afternoon. So that 5-point gap going to easily swing back the way of the number 9. Battle for the lead is on. Shelton has caught up to Martin Blute. And right as they catch lap traffic, the former Travis I. 3 wide now for the lead. They're going to go 4 wide with lap traffic. Anderson to the inside, trying to hang on. Shelton tracks up with Blute as they work down to the turn numbers 1 and 2. And somehow, I think they're going to survive that one. Anderson still double file with Martin Blute as they thunder down the back straightaway and down to turn 3. That was a gutsy move down the inside. Anderson was not taking no for an answer, as they will now battle it out for the race lead down to turn 1. Blute will pull clear and somehow hang on to the race lead, and the caution flag is out. As we got a car around to the back straightaway, it looks like. Unsure who. Oh boy, a wild move though from the entirety of this field. Let's take a look back at that quick pass for the lead that happened down the front straightaway as this field got all sorts of intense coming off of turn number 4. And that was right before they caught up to Martin Plout. So this is the 4 wide pass. Watch Anderson all the way to the inside and 4 wide with lap traffic down into turn 1, and somehow that doesn't end up as a caution. We're going to ride on board with some of these cars further in the back of this field as we'll try to track down what brought out the second yellow flag of the afternoon. And looking like it may very well be a mystery for now. Pit stops underway though, with Ryan Shelton, Doug Milliner, and more. We know that one car went around, and we'll do some detective work to track down who that was. But Shelton leads the field in along with Martin Plout, and 4 tires in field looking like it's going to be the call for most. And sure enough, he will be the first one out of pit road. Yellow flag is out. 20 laps to go. We're into the final quarter, excuse me. We'll be back in a moment on Green Flag TV. Welcome back to the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series. You're watching the replay of what puts us under the 3rd yellow flag of the night. Devin Pirog coming out of turn number 2 here. Josh Emerson just drifts up into him, spins the 46 around, and look at the save that Pirog had coming down off of turn number 2. That was well held from the 46 Discord machine, as he's going to find himself now down into the 11th spot. Didn't even lose all that much ground, so good show there for Pirog. Travis Hyde looks like he will get the wave around the iRacing pace car as lap times continue to tick away from the Kansas Speedway. Taking a look at some of the upcoming shows here on Green Flag TV. On Saturday night, tentatively at least, the TNGG IL Truck Series will swing out to Talladega Super Speedway on Saturday night for a 95 lapper around the biggest, baddest track of the NASCAR circuit. And on Sunday, it is a broadcast doubleheader with the Classic IndyCar Series making their first oval race at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. That'll be at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And just a few hours later, the ASRL Next Gen Cup Series will reset the top 10 in points for a 3-race shootout in the playoffs. That'll be at 7:25 p.m. Eastern Time at Michigan International Speedway. So a lot of really high-speed, high-octane races are going to be coming on up here over the weekend. And in the event that that TNGG race cannot be done live, it will be delayed on a tape delay broadcast, which will take place on Tuesday afternoon prior to the OMSRL Truck Series finale. Martin Plout was the first one into pit road. He is the first one out of pit road as the pack getting set to work itself up and around with the field in tow just behind. who's ready to get wild then. 17 laps to go as Martin Plout takes us back to the green flag. Shelton and Anderson remain double file for the number 2 spot, just a little ways behind. Even further back, they're looking for 3 wide in the mid-pack on down. Emmett Lindquist, Mark McFadden, Carl DeCharles, Milliner, Emerson, Pirog, and Moore. Again, all under a blanket. Then you got Christopher Darling looking to put that defending championship number 11 car up into the mix. And we're going to go 3 wide for the lead again in turn 2, it looks like. Oh, not quite. Plout just able to fend off Shelton around the top. Sure made an effort, though. As they are 3 wide deeper in the pack, while Devin Pirog losing out on a couple. Jason Gracias and Moore all tucked up line of stern and almost 3 wide again. Meanwhile, they are 3 wide. Weimiller, Anderson, McDougall. Anderson will back out from the middle line as Shane Weimiller drives around the top. The race in action never stops at Kansas as McFadden now trapped in the middle line. Lindquist and Emerson going to split him down the back straightaway and into turn 3. And now a battle for the lead, picking up Shelton to the inside of Plout as they hit turn 1. Martin Plout trying to carry that outside momentum. Picks off the 99 and forces him to stay behind. "13 laps remain. As Ryan Shelton, Christopher Darling, and Moore all try to make these looks for whatever positions they can muster in these dying laps from race number 12. And you see Pirog looking to the inside of Carl DeCharles, and he's going to take Stan Hausman and almost Joey Barra with him. Fastest lap of the race set by the number 9 car of Shane Weimiller that last time by a 31.04, almost enough to push into the 32nd bracket. 3 wide in the mid-pack. Whoa, boom, look out! Hard into the outside wall for Pirog. Around they go. On the back straightaway. Levier around, McFadden around, Shoe around. Multi-car crash on the back straightaway. And that will put us into crunch time with under 10 laps to go. I think Moorcrid made it out of that, and if he did, he will be the recipient of the Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award from 22nd. Big crash on the back straightaway, though, for Pirog and Moore. Take a look back. As 3 wide, and Pirog, I think, drifted up into McFadden. McFadden was nowhere near the wall as they came off the corner. Jason Shue then drifted down into Levier. McRunnels got a piece. Levier and Shue went for a pretty big slide as they all went down to the inside through the back straightaway. That's the sort of race that you get here when the tension picks up at the end of a race like this. I mean, I think McFadden was loose. I mean, the way that car lifted out of the throttle and how he was nowhere near the wall, I really do think he got really loose. That would be one of the only explanations for why that wreck would have happened the way it did. They see McFadden go pretty heftily into the outside wall. Levier backed it in. Quite a few cars with some pretty significant damage, and one of the biggest losers out of that one was McFadden. You're right on board. Part of the outside wall once, and then a second time That could be a day ender for the 22 machine. Yellow flag out for the 4th time on the Speedway. We'll be back in a moment with the restart on Green Flag TV.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Getting set to go back to Green Flag Racing with just 7 laps on the docket. Martin Plout has been hanging on to the race lead for a very, very long time. And we'll see if he can hang on for just 7 more laps against a charging number 99. Pace car is off. And we're into the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air with 7 to go. Sheldon with a good jump up on the outside line. Martin Plout this time not able to get nearly as good of a launch from the inside line. Christopher Darling behind, trying to see what he can do from 3rd. About half the field came down to pit road, so you got about 12th on back that are all on newer tires. And look at the battle clusters. They work out of turn numbers 3 and 4. It's about as tight as it's been all day long. Looking for a little bit of 2, and now 3 wide action just behind. As, oh boy, McDougall gets into the side of Gracias. Nearly spins the 1 car around. Emmett Lindquist driving around the top. Josh Emerson makes it 3 wide down low. 5 to go. Oh, and hard hit into the outside wall. A horrendous crash for McDougall as that car kicked up into the air, and he is drilled by Mike Morcrid. Huge, terrible crash up in turn one. Martin Plout with the lead, and that has forced this race into overtime. Plout will inherit that race lead, and my God, that was a tremendous impact up into the wall, and that was already after the fact. We'll take a jump back again and show you what went down here as Josh McDougall with a monster of an impact into the outside wall. Josh Emerson just coming up at the bottom, clobbering the 45, then Charles almost kicks the 45 up and over. You look away for 2 seconds, and that's what happens. And then flying in full speed was Mike Morcrid, absolutely pile driving the 45. Jumping a bit further back and take a look. This is working into turn number 3. McDougall getting a little bit argy-bargy there with Gracias. Emerson and Lindquist make it 3 wide, and I'm pretty sure Emerson got bodied down onto the apron here. Sure, oh, he did that to himself. Oh, man. You want to talk about a ride? That is a ride. On board with McDougall. Hang on, this is going to get crazy. And watch the mirror. Oh. It's a hard lick into the wall, and this is on board with Carlton Charles. Had a front row seat to this whole thing starting. Tried to back it down, there was not enough time. And then with Morcrid. Good. He tried to slow down too. There's just, when a car's been unpredictable like that, and I'm not blaming that on Josh McDougall at all, there's just not a lot you can do. That was the lap preceding this. This is going to be at speed with the wreck. There's the hit to the inside, and then hard lick into the wall, and then here comes Morcrid. There's already a few close calls before that, but man, just drilled into turn 2. So we are on overtime attempt number 1 of 2. We'll reset for 2 laps, and we will try it again. Lights will go out aboard the iRacing pace car. Martin Plout just has to hang on for 2 more. Oh, Milliner just goes into the wall in turn 2. It's been a night for unfortunate incidents under the safety car. We'll try again. No delay this time as Milner did not go fully around. Pace car is off as Martin Ploutz will take us back to the green flag. 2 laps to go. And I don't think we're going to make it back because I think we just had one car go into the grass, and we sure did. Mark McFadden goes into the infield. We'll stay with this one here and see if anything else will happen. Ploutz with a great getaway, though. Darting into the wall. Garcia slides down, trying to pedal it. He'll lose it fully in turn 3. And Jason Garcia's dropping back. Bobby Anderson picks up the number 2 spot. White flag in the air, 1 to go. Does Darling or Anderson have anything for Martin Ploutz? Driving it in deep into turn numbers 1 and 2. Ploutz into the outside wall. Multiple cars into the outside wall of a 2. We stay green. Ploutz driving around the outside, and he will take up the race win. Martin Ploutz hangs on to win in the Kansas Speedway from pole. Beautiful drive there for the Twisted Steel Stake Appeal number 81 as he comes home with an absolutely magnificent checkered flag. Take a look back. Mark McFadden losing the back end as he comes off of turn numbers. As he comes into the trial here, it was a big stack up the field. And that sent McFadden into the infield grass. Then Garcia's a little further up the road, had this problem on the back straightaway. Just got loose by himself and watched the wheel work to keep that car off the inside wall. It was a beautiful drive for him, and meanwhile, Ploutz, going to be burning it down to the front straightaway. So as Ploutz will celebrate on the front straightaway, we'll take a rundown of the official post-race results this afternoon after what was a wild one from the Kansas Speedway. Taking the race results at the end of the night, it was Martin Ploutz ahead of Bobby Anderson at the end of the day, and these are the qualifying results. My apologies. We'll get a look at the official race results after this one. Quarter of a second, we'll see Ploutz with the win. Darling was in second with Bobby Anderson in third. Shane Weinmiller was in fourth, with Renata Major down to the number 5 spot. Ryan Sheldon will pick up the 6th position with Emma Lindquist in 7th. Stenhouse was 8th, Carl Charles in 9th. And Josh Emerson rounds out the top 10. Jason Shield will pick up the 11th position with Devin Pirog in 12th. Andy Levier was in 13th. Doug Milner 14th. Joey Barrett was in 15th. Michael Mooney was in 16th. McRunnels, Branson, Garcia, and McFadden round out the top 20. Mike Morkberg was in 21st with Aaron Mack in 22nd. Travis Hyde, Josh McDougall, Tim Allman, Corey Hutchinson, Mashburn, and Vincent round out the field with Joseph Causey not making a start this afternoon. Ryan Sheldon, your Sim Wrap Market Hard Charger Award, up 90 positions. He will finish this race in 6th. Well, after a wild series of events here to bring this race to a close, we get the chance here to give a chit-chat here to all of the drivers at the end of this race that finished in the top 3, and we'll look to pick things up with Martin Ploutz, as he is the driver that wins this race from pole. And Martin, it is a hard-fought win at that. It did not come easy. You had to fend off some really quick drivers tonight. Walk us through how you got it done.
Well, I don't know, man. There was a lot of good cars out there. It was just a matter of trying to save tires while also trying to stay in front of everybody because track position was so important. So, yeah, I don't even know how I got back to the front. So it was kind of hectic there. But I kind of ripped the top side and was doing pretty good at doing that. So I think that's probably was the most important.
Well, you're able to walk home at the end of the night, and you take up a race win. And with this, after no show from Kevin Cantonio, you should be secure into the chase for the Tires Plus Cup. How's that got to feel coming into the final race at Darlington? Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's good because I'm not going to be here next week. So that was the goal, is to try to get enough points to where I wasn't going to have to really worry about it. So yeah, I'll wait for the points, but it looks like it should be pretty good. So yeah, it's nice to know that I'll be able to race after coming back.
And well, we look forward. One more race left of the regular series season from the Lady in Black. What will we expect to see you from the track too tough to tame?
Well, it's just it's gonna be like tonight. I think it's gonna be a lot of people hitting the walls, trying to run the top side and hitting walls. So it should be a pretty good race.
Well, we'll get set to see you then when we go racing 1 week from now. Congratulations on taking the race win tonight from Kansas. We'll see you next time at the Lady in Black.
Thanks. See you guys.
Martin Blue joining us up here for Victory Lane. We'll move on down to Christopher Darling, the driver that was just able to snipe second place away from rookie Bobby Anderson. Chris, it was a hard-fought race for you tonight, like so many others. You started in the mid-pack, but you're able to come home and finish on the podium.
Yeah, man, just a lot of patience. Definitely didn't feel that quick when I was mid-pack, but once I got towards the front and saved a little tire, I was able to keep pace. So I'm definitely happy with that outcome.
Well, we get set to see how everything's going to shake on up. Obviously, for you, you're already relatively secure into the chase of the Tires Plus Cup coming on up here in about a week or so. So what's going to be the game plan for the final race of the regular series season at Darlington?
My favorite racetrack on the schedule for sure. So definitely want to at least be fast enough to compete for a win. Obviously, you never know how these things will shake out, but if I'm not racing for a win, I'm probably going to be pretty upset. I think I won the last 2 there, so definitely looking forward to it.
All right, well, we'll get set to see you once again. We go racing 1 week from now at the Darlington Raceway. Chris, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us up here tonight. We'll get set to see you next week one more time.
Definitely. Thanks, Nolan.
Christopher Darling joining us up here at the end of what was a wild race this afternoon, and does not look like we will have Bobby Anderson to join us up here this afternoon. So that is going to bring us to a close this afternoon for Racing Action for the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series. Make sure to check out the TNGGIL Truck Series either on Saturday night or Tuesday afternoon, whichever will come your way for the Talladega Super Speedway. And then on Sunday, the Classic IndyCar Series. Hit South America's home for motorsports for the first race of the first oval race of the 2024 campaign. For us here from Green Flag TV and the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series, that's all the time we're going to have for one afternoon. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us here tonight. We'll get set to see you all next week one more time for a reset the top 7 for a 5-race shootout. This has been the Speed Tires Plus Cup Series on Green Flag TV.